The closer you look, the less you'll actually see. Welcome guys, welcome back possibly to the Rock Turtle YouTube channel. Great to have you here. Today, as you've seen in the title and the marvelous thumbnail that I've created for you, we're going to be reviewing Now You See Me, Now You Don't. This franchise, if we can even call it that, has finally gotten a third film. And yeah, kind of as a layup for this review, I want to preface it by saying that I am a massive fan of the first two films. Okay, so I just think that's important to say, so that you're aware of my bias going into this review. My bias being that I am just obsessed with the first two films. It's like the first one, I think I will actually stand and say that's a pretty good film, right? Objectively speaking, whatever that means. The second one, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is probably pretty terrible, but I just can't help but love it. Like seeing the magic that they do on screen, because some of it is pretty impossible. Seeing the magic that they do, just seeing these kind of actors interact, I think is so much fun, and I have such a blast with the films. The ridiculous twists and turns. Yeah, I'm kind of all over it. So I love these movies, and yeah. So this Now You See Me, Now You Don't has been quite highly anticipated for me. Probably as early as 2016 when the second one came out. I have been Googling for basically, well, 8 years straight until last year when it was finally confirmed. Like, is there going to be a Now You See Me 3? I just love them so much. I want more of it. I want more and more and more. I could watch these movies forever, and I will. I'll repeat these ones even if there aren't any more, which I think maybe there won't be, given kind of how this one has turned out. And I haven't looked yet, but I'm expecting kind of a low box office. I don't really think people are going to show up for this. Sorry, there was a fly there. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I'm trying something new today. I've got the doors of the shed open, kind of letting more light in, but also it will mean there's possibly some natural, ambience in the background. So just be wary of that. Yeah, apologies if there's any audio issues. But yeah, so let's get into this review, right? Yeah, I saw this last night. In actually quite a full screening. I went with my girlfriend, and to be honest, had a pretty good time. I had good fun with this movie. I want to talk about the new cast first of all, right? They've brought into the mix essentially a new team, right, to join with the old team. So we've got Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt, and what's his name? Justice Smith, right? We got those three all joining as kind of the young, plucky magicians. And there's a lot throughout this film which was kind of cheesy, and like, I don't know if I was fully on board with, where it was like, oh, you young kids, and like, you oldies are like so old. It's like, really, was this the best writing that we could think of for like just young people and old people interacting? Like, there has to be more nuance. Excuse me, I'm like horrendously ill still at the moment. There's yeah, I think the writing at times was pretty goofy, and like just not necessarily the most creative it could have been. Like I think it was one of James Franco's first lines in this film is like, damn guys, like pandemics, AI, what else does he say? He just like names like global warming. He just names a bunch of like issues the world has been facing, but like doesn't say anything about them. I think that's kind of hilarious. Like they really, I don't know, they really just like threw stuff in, kind of with like no further thoughts of the significance of it. Yeah, and those issues have absolutely nothing to do with the rest of this film. But yeah, that being said, so this new cast, right, these three, I can't be alone in saying, like, these are probably three of the, like, kind of most exciting, like, young performers over the last couple of years. right? Like, if you go back to 2023, right, just a couple years ago, Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt, like, have big roles in two of the Best Picture nominees of that year, right? Dominic Sessa, obviously, in The Holdovers, Ariana Greenblatt in Barbie. Okay, Justice Smith, just last year, was in, I think, one of the most exciting horror films we've had this decade in I Saw the TV Glow. If you didn't see that, please go and check that out. It's a brilliant horror film. So these guys are doing good work, right? And I think, to be honest, like, casting-wise, you've got to give the casting director a 10 out of 10 for finding, like, interesting talent, okay? I think they were brilliant choices to come into a franchise like this. I think they had good chemistry, and I mean they're just very talented people. So the characters kind of wrote themselves at times, and dare I say, you felt that. Like, as I say, I don't think the writing of this film is very strong. But yeah, that being said, I think as fun as these new characters were, did they overall add to the Now You See Me experience, or did they take away from it? Because I think even as enjoyable as they were, excuse me, my throat is in a terrible way at the moment. What was I saying? Right. I think even as enjoyable as they were, I think they took up a lot of screen time, right, in a movie that's not that long, which could have gone to the old members, who, at the end of the day, that is who we're showing up for, right? If we're going to see a Now You See Me 3, it's because we enjoyed the first two, including those teams, right? I think my mum just called to me, apologies. So I would say, yeah, I think that's a tricky one, right? They said a lot of good things, as in they contributed good things to the story, but is that time that could have better been spent just focusing on the main characters, fleshing them out more, and allowing them more feet, maybe, and just giving them kind of platform to shine? Because, and that's kind of my next point, I think the main horseman, right, and that's your team of Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, who's back for this film, that's been all over the advertising, that's not a spoiler, Woody Harrelson and Dave Franco, right? These are characters that we love. At the end of the day, like, it's kind of their franchise. I think it would have been great to kind of just spend more time with them, and they almost feel a little bit secondary in their own film, and the film overall possibly suffers under the weight of so many characters who are all magicians with egos. Like, come on, there's only so many, like, egotistic magicians that you can have in one film before they're just crowding over each other, dude. Like, you've got Daniel Atlas, who's I'm not going to use their character names. You've got Jesse Eisenberg, who's playing a magician with an ego. So is Woody Harrelson. So is Dominic Sessa. So is probably, yeah, you can throw Dave Franco, Isla Fisher in there. They all just, like, think they're the best and kind of get in each other's way a bit. I don't know, step on each other's toes, which was part of the fun. But yeah, I think overall, possibly too many characters. But again, the new cast members were good and enjoyable. So it's like, you know, how do you fix it? Something I did notice, though, was whilst the original Horsemen don't get to shine as much, I think Woody Harrelson kind of did get his moments. And it's interesting, this movie was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who also did, like, the Zombieland films, the first Venom, which of course went to have Woody Harrelson in the sequel. He clearly has a very good relationship with Woody Harrelson, and it's like, okay, so you just gave, like, your favourite cast member some moments, and the others are just like, yeah, screw you guys. I don't know. That's just something small I noticed. Let's talk about the villain and the plot. Rosamund Pike is is, I think, a very well respected and very talented British actor, right? She's done great work in Gone Girl. She was in the Johnny English movies, even in The World's End, concluding the Cornetto trilogy. That's not the best stuff she's done. I just can't think off the top of my head right now. Anyway, she's really talented. I did not know this going in. She is doing a South African accent in this film, which, when I say it's not holding back, like, oh my God, she's going for it. And I want to give her credit. It actually seems like she's spent a long time with like an accent coach trying to nail this accent. And I'd love to hear from people who are South African, to kind of hear from them if they believe that like this is a good accent or not. Because to me, it actually seemed kind of good. I think it was really jarring at the beginning, because it's like, this is a very clearly British person just going like fully in on quite a distinct accent and like not holding back at all. It's not quiet by any means, right? Like it really makes itself known, and it was kind of hilarious. But yeah, once I got used to it, I was like, oh wait, is she kind of nailing this voice? Like maybe she is, I don't know. But yeah, that was just quite funny. And yeah, I'm sorry if you didn't know that going in. I feel like that's almost a spoiler, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, I should have said actually, this review is non-spoiler, okay? I'm not going to be talking about any of the surprises of the film or anything that twists and turns. As for the plot, of course, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I thought it was okay. I think, again, I've mentioned the writing being weak. I think there were twists that were like, come on, dude, like, really? I mean, am I totally buying this? Probably not. But yeah, overall, I thought it was okay. It had a good enough like moral sentiment to it that I was like, yeah, I can get on board with this. It's an okay, catalyst to kind of move these characters along that we want to spend time with. So yeah, to speak about then the actual magic, right? This is a film about magic at the end of the day. I wouldn't say there's a lot of magic in this film, and I've looked at some Letterboxd reviews already. I couldn't help myself, kind of just in brief, and I'm not the only person to like mention this. I've seen a lot of people being like, yeah, for a film about magic, maybe include some more magic in it, which I think is kind of a fair point, and I kind of think that links back to there being too many characters that like they just couldn't handle everything. And there's a couple of times where characters come together and it's like, okay, let's make a plan of what we're going to do here. And then it happens and it's like, well, there wasn't really much magic involved in that, right? In the first film, it's like, we're magicians and we're going to like very nonchalantly like commit crimes in our magic acts. That's pretty clever. And then the second one, it's like, it's kind of the same. Like, yeah, we're magicians, but we're like doing it for the right reason. In this one, they're just kind of criminals. They just kind of commit heists, and like there's a little bit of magic involved, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. It very much on the scales of balance between magic and crime, where before it was like balanced or more in favor of magic. I suppose that would go down if it's more in favor. Now it's like, oh my god, the crime is just so heavy that like, okay, the magic is just, it's just the balance isn't there, I don't think. But yeah, that being said, the magic that is there, I'm going to say magic in inverted commas, because oh my god, this is a sci-fi franchise at this point. There is absolutely no way that the things that are happening on screen are possible. And apparently they consulted real magicians on this, and real magicians like passed off on these tricks and said, yeah, this stuff is possible. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. Like, so like some of this is actually just like movie magic. Like it's just I don't know, like CGI or like special effects that you can do because you're filming on a camera, you can't actually pull this stuff off, right? Again, I don't want to get into specifics, but if you thought the second one got too ridiculous, this one just takes it to a whole new high of like, this is just not real at this point. Yeah. I think there was a lot of dialogue in the film, kind of directed towards answering questions that no one was really asking. Like, oh, where's this person? Where has this person been? Like, why did the Horsemen break up? And what's everyone been doing in the last 9 years? Like, okay, like we don't need to know all of this. Like, we get it, okay? It's been difficult to make Now You See Me 3 because it's like, the Now You See Me films were in that weird stage of popularity where it's like, well, kind of a lot of people love this, but it's not necessarily big, like it's not guaranteed money. That's why it's taken a long time to kind of get going and get off the ground. Like, I get it. But yeah, we don't need to spend half an hour of the film talking about, oh, like, this is what I've been up to and this is why it's taking so long or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we're here now. Just make the movie, make a fun movie, and kind of get on with it. It's like, stop complaining. I don't know. That's probably a very harsh take, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of the main points I wanted to get on. So overall, Now You See Me, Now You Don't it's fun. There's definitely fun to be had. As I said, the cast members are they are just enjoyable actors, right? All of them, and they naturally will make good chemistry because they're talented performers. I think the writing does let it down. The writing is pretty weak, but yeah, there are fun scenes. There is fun dialogue. They're fun characters. Dave Franco and Isla Fisher look gorgeous in this film. I'm sorry to say this. I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm bi, and yeah, wow. I think those two people just looked great. Their outfits were great. There's like a wedding dress kind of thing that Isla Fisher wears. She looks amazing. Dave Franco he like pulls off a jumper or something, reveals this tight like grey t-shirt, and his biceps are just like, whoom, and he just like starts doing pull-ups. Okay, I can't say any more than that, but damn, okay. If you wanna know if this film has eye candy, it's definitely there. You won't be disappointed. Not that anyone's asking that, but yeah. So yeah, Now You See Me Don't. It was a fun film. I'm in love with this franchise, so I think I had a good time. I think if you watched either of the first two films and thought, this is just silly, I'm not buying it, dude, like, don't watch this next one. Do you know what I mean? No matter who you are, just don't waste your time. It doesn't fix any issues you would have had with previous films. I love the previous films, and going into this one, it's not as good. It's clearly the weakest of the three. I kind of expected that, just having seen the marketing and stuff. I'd say final score, I'll go with like a 7 out of 10, like a 6, 7, out of 10. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. I'd say a 7 out of 10, which is generous. Like, bear in mind, that's pretty generous. Realistically, it should be lower, because there isn't much of like great quality here. I just can't help but have a good time, because I love these people. I love these antics, the ridiculous magic and stuff. So yeah, in terms of would I recommend it, again, if you liked the first two films, you'll probably have enough fun with this one. But if you aren't fond of the previous films, you really won't. You won't get much from this. It's not going to give you anything that you wished you'd had in the previous two. Okay. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Obviously, check out the film yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Make your own opinion on it. And it's an enjoyable one. I'll see you in another video shortly, hopefully. Bye, guys.